Welcome back to another episode of the Gambling Goats podcast. He's Johnny. I'm Shea.
Week 3, baby. Here we are.
Week three. You know what? NFL's been rolling. I'm happy it's back. The dogs have been barking in the NFL, man. Lots of underdogs taking the victories. Lots of underdogs covering those spreads. It's been a tough couple weeks, but you know what? We're pounding through it. I feel a big week coming up. The board is tough. Johnny, what do you think, man? How was your week 2?
Week 2 wasn't the greatest. Could have done better. Think I'm shooting 50% last week with, if we don't count that, Broncos money line and over. Arizona won, they didn't cover, and that's the thing about fucking bird teams. Great teams cover. Birds obviously don't. A lot of tight games, seeing just a lot of up and downs, man. It's not what, you're thinking it's going to be. So sometimes betting on those dogs makes you money, like it has for us, or at least me, once or twice. With that being said, first couple weeks have been sketchy. But, we got a couple fun games this week. The board is tough. I'm betting on some dogs this week, I tell you that much. I like a couple little spreads. How'd you do last week?
Man, I had an okay week. I went three out of 5. I only lost the Saints game, which I got dead wrong. I'll tell you that right now. They showed up and they look like shit, and I am worried about the Saints losing to the Panthers there. And then I lost a close one in the Rams-Colts game. Rams win, but they only win by 3. I had them at 3.5. That's where the number comes into play.
It's some monster picks with the Raiders and Cowboys, though.
Big picks there.
Great picks. Honestly, you had a great week last week looking at that. The Rams not covering, 3.5, tough. But all in all,
it hurts the soul a little bit. It hurts the soul a little bit, with that half a point not doing it.
Saints -3 and Rams -3.5 on paper. Like, I'm looking at it still, it looks good. I'd still pick it. So
I would pick that 10 times out of 10.
I think I've learned my lesson. I think I've learned my lesson betting on maybe Bengals, birds, and we'll go from there. We'll learn. We'll progress.
My 2-game teaser hit. First one of the season, hit the 2-game teaser. My Patriots didn't need the tease down to a pick 'em. They could have just covered that 6-point spread easily against a really weak team in the Jets. And then we both won on the 49ers Eagles game, man. I had them up to 9. I think it was an 8-point or 7-point game. You had 49ers -3. So we
Love
both
to see
are
that.
winners on that. So that's a positive note. That's a positive note going into week 3 here. What do you think? We just dive right into it, man. What do you think? What do you got for your first pick here?
Let's get into it. So my first pick here is it's going to be the only one that's easy for me. I'm really liking Steelers -3. Going up against the Bengals, who did me wrong. I feel like 3 points at home for Steelers and Bengals, I just don't find that to be even there. So I think Steelers are going to cover 3 points at home, roll over Bengals and get the train rolling, and Ben will shit the bed later on down the field, like, game 10, 8, but they had a hot season last season. They've got weapons, so I think they'll roll over the Bengals by more than a goal. Steelers by 3.
Man, I was looking at that game, and divisional game. Bengals they've been impressive. For what they are, they've been impressive. They're not an elite team. I'm not saying that, but we didn't think the Raiders were a good team either. But they rolled the Steelers at home. The Steelers have some issues with their defense right now. A couple injuries on that, which is going to be a big blow for the Steelers team that has an elite defense that relies on these guys week in, week out. Like you said, Big Ben, he's bound to choke eventually. I was looking at this game. If it got up to -4, -4.5 for the Steelers, I'd be going with the Bengals. So I think it's going to be a close game. So I just could not touch this one if you paid me to. So best of luck to you on that one, brother. I think it's going to be a good one.
I picked some tough picks this week. I wanted to go against what you were going against, and it's not an easy board, so we'll see what happens.
I hear you. I
We're
hear you, man.
betting our money, guys, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely a tough
What do you
one.
got first pick for you?
My first pick on paper looks like an easy layup. You know, I got the Arizona Cardinals going to Jacksonville, laying 7.5 points. Yes, it's a high number. I see that. The Cardinals defense, they are for real, allowing opposing quarterbacks a total of 404 yards through the air through the first 2 weeks, which, you know what, in the whole NFL, that's ranked number 8 through the air. So their defense is shutting down the passing. So Trevor Lawrence is not going to have that 303-yard game with 4 interceptions. You know, I see it like a 190, 180 kind of yard game for them. And the rush defense for the Cardinals has been a little bit of an issue. They've allowed the 7th most rushing yards through the first 2 weeks. But you know what? On the offensive side of the ball, Kyler Murray's looking really good. He's got the second highest passing yards for a quarterback in the league, behind Derek Carr, who's just been lights out. And you know what? He has 2 rushing touchdowns, which as a quarterback, he's tied for second in the league in rushing touchdowns after week 2, which that's pretty solid to do. The Jaguars going on Jacksonville here, they have issues. I don't know if it's head coaching. I don't know if it's, the offense sucks, the defense sucks. Well, I know that, but they have issues all over the place. Trevor Lawrence he's tied for first in the NFL with the most interceptions, with the second overall pick, Zach Wilson. So these guys, these highly rated prospects, have been throwing interceptions. They haven't been off to a good start. Their defense is the bottom of the barrel. The only way I could look at this game is taking the Cardinals and taking that minus 7.5 points.
Wow. Well, that's quite the explanation for it. But, Kyler Murray, I love seeing him running around. He really knows how to find his guys, create time. And like I was saying last week, is how they're letting him do that and how they're not with Lamar. Forget that. They let Lamar choose what's going on. I feel like they're listening to our podcast. They heard, holy shit, Johnny said, we should maybe let Lamar do his thing. And now Lamar's just doing his thing. But with these young guys, they're throwing the ball away. So that's a good pick there. Kyler Murray's going to have it on lock against Jacksonville. I could get on board with that. But unfortunately, I'm not on your picks this week. So got my own to get into. And I like, I'll get into this one first. Heineke versus Allen, up in Bills here, Washington and Bills. I love the Bills. Love them. Not going to bet with Mart this week. Number 1, 7.5 points, Washington. I saw some stats on Heineke versus Allen there. And honestly, Heineke is tied, if not maybe beating Allen in the first 2 weeks here, let alone Bills have had a rough start to the year. But still, offensively, I hate this pick because the Bills have so much offensive weapons and can get points. 7.5 just doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm going to take Washington plus 7.5. Dogs are eating this week again. I think, I love Heineke. I think I can hop on Washington this week with the money plus 7.5. I know some people that'd be proud of that pick. So
you know what?
We're getting on Washington.
I'm actually going to back you on this one here, man. I think this is a big trap game for the Bills. A lot of people are going in this game saying, the Bills aren't going to lose 2 in a row at home.
I'm not saying the Bills aren't going to win. I just think they're going to win.
I'm not saying that either. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to come down to a field goal.
4 points, maybe 3.
Yeah. Bills are not going to be able to run on this Washington defense. They have a very stout defensive line, with Chase Young and Sweat there on the D line. So yeah, man, I can get on board with that. I've watched this line all week. It was 10. It went down to 8.5, went back up to 9. Now it's down to 7.5. So it's all over the place. And you know what, man? That means money's coming in on people picking Washington to cover this. So I'm with you, man. I think this is a trap game for the Bills. I think the Washington covers that 7.5.
Line moving all over the place. Funny story, Heineke there. Is that his name, Heineke?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. He's trying to get a deal with Heineken or something. I saw on Twitter there. And then Bud Light reposted like ready and waiting. Could you imagine signing Heineken to Bud Light and making fun of Heineken? I would love that collab. That is pop culture at its finest. What's your next pick there, Shea? I got Washington 7.5.
Yeah, Johnny, I really like that pick in Washington there. Solid pick there. My second pick here is I'm actually going to go to a divisional game here. Big game, probably one of the biggest games of the week. Lots of people are going to be watching this one. I'm going to go to the Chargers at the Chiefs. Chiefs laying 6.5 points. The Chiefs can throw the ball. There's no question that they're third ranked in pass yards. But guess who's right behind them in fourth? Take a wild guess.
Broncos.
No, Chargers. Chargers can also throw the ball. Justin Herbert's been throwing the ball over the field, so I'm saying that's a pretty even matchup offensively. Both teams don't run the football. The Chiefs are only averaging 3.3 yards per carry, where the Chargers are averaging 3.9 yards per carry. So they don't run the ball. They don't have that explosive running back that's gonna open up a game. So they rely a lot on their pass offense. The Chiefs defense, they've had issues, man. They've been exposed in the last two games there with the Browns, and then on Monday night with the Ravens there, or Sunday night with the Ravens there.
1 point game.
1 point game, but they were exposed, man.
A lot of points. A lot of points.
Chiefs defense has allowed 404 yards on the ground, which is last place there in the league for rush defense, and then 334 yards through the air, which is third worst. And they also have the yards per attempt through the air at 10.4 yards per attempt by opposing offenses. So, going with the Chargers, that you're right. They're pretty even with the Chiefs in the passing game. Chiefs defense allows 10.4 yards per game. I see the Chargers being able to throw it well. If they do need to mix it up and throw on a run there, they're going to be able to do that. Maybe pump that stat up from 3 yards per carry to maybe 4. Have that success on offense. Chargers defense, though, I'll go on the other side of the ball there. Chargers defense has the fourth best passing defense in the league, allowing only one passing touchdown through weeks 1 and 2. So that's pretty solid. Their rush defense also, like the Chiefs, they have issues, but the Chiefs don't run the football. This being a big game and the Chiefs laying 6.5 points, the only way I can look to this is I'm going to take the better defense, and I'm going to ride with the Chargers plus the 6.5 points against the Chiefs in Kansas City. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Chiefs do end up winning, but it's a divisional game, and to win by a touchdown, I don't see that happening. So I'm going to take the Chargers plus the 6.5.
Okay, 32-27 kind of thing.
Yeah,
nice and tight. Leave it
Lots
nice and close.
Lots of points.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, depth. Love the stats. Let's get big sis. I don't think you're gonna love my next pick. I'm taking Saints plus 3 at New England. Johnny, what makes you take the Saints plus 3? Another dog. Dogs are eating. You know what? I don't know, man. It's just a gutty feeling. Gutty feeling. I just think it's going to be a nice little upset at New England here. I think they can cover plus 3 points. Saints, they're going to come back here and get the ball rolling. They're 1-1. Yeah. Shea doesn't like that pick at all, but you know what? You don't get to say in my pick, Shea, because I'm still talking about my pick. Something I do like about the Saints here is they've got not consistent offensive line weapons, but they're sparky. And it's just you got to see the numbers. And what I see here is really good numbers for the Saints. Saints plus 3.
Okay. All right.
I'm taking Saints plus 3.
I'm actually staying far away from this game because it's going to be a close game. I agree with you in that sense of things. The issue last week that I think that burned me big time taking the Saints, against the Panthers there, was they had so many issues with injuries. their head coaches were all out on COVID related. They weren't at the game, so they only had Sean Payton coaching that entire team, which he's usually just the head coach and does like the major things. You know what I mean? So that burned me big time. So if they can get healthy for this matchup against my Patriots, yeah, I see them doing that and winning that game and covering that 3 points. If they can't get healthy, this is the third road game. They play next week finally at home. So I see it maybe being we're already kind of banged up. Let's just put up bare minimum effort, go into this week, play it. If we lose, we lose. Let's get home and win a game at home, for the people that, were devastated by that hurricane. So, that's why I'm staying far, far away from this game. I don't want to touch it. I love my Patriots, don't get me wrong, but this is a game I want no part of.
I just feel like there's a stat out there that says Saints are going to win, and I'm just going to read that in my mind and take Saints. That's only my third pick, isn't it? Did I take 4 yet, or you're on your fourth now?
That was your third. I'm going on my third right now.
No, you're going on your fourth. You had Cardinals?
I'm going on my third right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So for my third pick, this is an ugly game. But you know what? The Denver Broncos have been surprisingly one of the most consistent teams this year. Teddy Bridgewater's added that, consistency at quarterback that Drew Lock didn't bring to the table the last couple of years. Teddy, he's consistent. Teddy covers, he covers these games, man. And he's doing it with an offense that's looks stellar. They have the roster. So I'm going Jets at the Broncos. It's in Denver. That's going to play a factor too. That altitude in the mountains
goes way farther.
Ball goes way farther. I'm taking the Broncos minus the 10.5 points. Their defense is ranked third in the league. And I think, if Zach Wilson had issues against the Patriots last week, throwing 4 interceptions, he's going to have a lot of issues coming to Denver, playing in this high altitude, playing a tougher defense. So it's not going to be an easy matchup for him. And he's also a little banged up. He was dealing with a few injuries in practice there, Zach Wilson. And you know what? Say he goes down. Have you ever heard of a guy named Mike White?
I do. I actually have a friend named Mike White.
Yeah. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Mike White, the NFL quarterback, who's the backup quarterback for the New York Jets.
Yep. Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. I don't see, if Mike White has to come into this game, I don't see them rallying. I don't see this game. I think it's a blowout.
It's definitely not Chongo.
No. I think Denver's definitely the play here. So I'm going to take Denver minus the 10.5 points. I don't think the Jets are in a good spot.
Broncos 10.5. What a pick by Shea. It takes a lot of something to take that many points and ride. That's a ball. It'd be nice to see them just crush them 27 to 6.
Yep.
Anyways, don't even let them get that fucking. That's 2 field goals, not even a touchdown. All right. Well, going on to my fourth pick here. And I'm betting with my heart. I'm seeing between Green Bay and San Fran here. San Fran at home. I'm taking Green Bay by plus 3.5. Dogs are going to eat this week.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay is going to start lighting it up, start throwing it around. They're getting warmed up. Don't love this pick, but I'm riding with Green Bay this week. Didn't last week. Should have. And I think they're going to pump little schoolboy Q, Giappolo, and Trey Love.
Trey Lance.
Trey Love.
Yeah, you know what, man? I liked what I saw from the Packers last week. That Aaron squared combo that they had. Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones had 5 touchdowns, didn't he? Or 4 touchdowns. How many touchdowns did he have?
4. 1 rushing, 3 receiving.
That's crazy, man. So the weapons are going for Green Bay. It's a tough game, and you know what? You're taking them plus the points, or are you taking them
plus
money?
3.5. Green Bay plus 3.5.
I like that. I think it's going to be a close game, and you know what? That half a point, I got.
They can lose by a field goal. I think they're gonna fuck up the first half like they always do. Come back in the end, and San Fran for a field goal at home. and I cover by half a point, and I look amazing.
I like it. I got burned by half a point last week, and you're
great
taking
teams
the point,
cover.
so
Great teams cover.
I like that. I like that play. I like that
Green
play,
Bay's a
John.
great team. What's your fourth pick?
Well, I'm taking you to a big game here, another divisional game. We're going Monday Night Football. We're going Eagles at the Cowboys. Both teams have impressed me big time this year, man. The Eagles, they can run the ball. Their defense has been solid. And the Cowboys, Dak is back. He's throwing the ball all over the place. They're having a lot of success with their wideouts. Their defense is a little spotty still. I haven't quite trusted that, but it's a big divisional game. Cowboys are laying the 4 points. Eagles have the better defense. They have the 4th ranked defense in the league. Dallas has the 27th ranked defense in the league. I think there's going to be points put it up. If I'm going to come down to this close game, I'm going to take the Eagles plus the points in a divisional game with the better defense. Give me the Eagles with the better defense in a divisional game plus the 4 points. That's my pick.
Eagles plus 4. Okay.
Big pick.
Wow. Okay. I'm leaving mine off nice. What's that?
What about you, man?
I thought you were going to take Cowboys minus 4.
Oh, you like how
Cowboys to cover.
Honestly,
it's a tough one. I think it's a tough one. I don't think I can get on a Birds team, especially the Eagles. Especially they have been playing great, but Cowboys have been sharp. And at home, I feel like Cowboys on Monday night. They don't lose Monday Night Football, I don't think. Not much. So that's a tough one. So that's nice. I'm going kind of back. I'm going to a fun game, probably the hardest game of the week to pick. And I think Tampa Bay is going to take a L against the Rams this week. I am taking Rams money line. It's going to be the best game to watch. I think Stafford's got Rams fired up. They're 2-0. Bucks are 2-0. Someone's going 3-0. And just in LA, Rams, I don't think it really matters having home advantage too much. It is an advantage though, no matter what. Just love the Rams defense compared to Bucks overall. But, it's just betting against Tom is so stupid. So stupid. Did it in the Super Bowl, too. But I hedged, so I covered. Anyways, covered more than you. Don't laugh at me. I'm taking Rams over Bucks, man. I think that's another dog eats, dog barks, pants me want to bark. Woo, woo. We're going to eat this week on dogs. A lot of dogs. The only dog I didn't take was the Steelers at home. So yeah. Rams money line, though, I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be really close, and I hope Rams can come out with a win because I'm picking them.
This could very well be a Super Bowl preview game. These teams are both elite.
This is going to be a fun one.
I'm definitely
going to be watching this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a football game. I'm excited to watch it. I'd rather just watch it and not be involved with it. I can't, me. Tom Brady's my dude. But like you said, I did lose money on him in the Super Bowl, so I'm a little sour about that still. I like it. Best of luck to you. I will definitely be watching that game because it's going to be one hell of a matchup. So let's go Rams, buddy.
Let's go Rams. So that's my 5 picks of the week. I got a little fun one for after, but I know you got a little your little 2-game teaser you probably want to get into this week.
Yeah, you know what? I'm coming back with another 2-game teaser this week. We are currently 1 for 1 on these 2-game teasers. My first one was a 3-game teaser. It should have been a 2-game teaser. It would have been a winner if it was a 2-game teaser. So we're going to stick with what works. We're going 2-game teaser. So my first leg of this teaser is I'm going to the Falcons at Giants game. Giants are laying 3 points at home. This is a garbage fest. These two teams suck. So I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to tease them up to 9 points, and then I'm going to go on the other side and take the Falcons plus the 9 points. you got to ask yourself in this game, who do you got more faith in? Matt Ryan, who's a maybe potential future Hall of Famer. He's had a solid career, very veteran quarterback. Or do you trust Daniel Jones, who's almost averaging a pick per game in his debuts couple seasons here? Falcons have solid weapons on offense. They got Kyle Pitts, they got Calvin Ridley. I can't even name two wideouts on the Giants. So, they got, questionable weapons on offense. Both teams will be putting up points in this game because their defense are non-existent. But I think the Falcons hang around. I think it's going to be, it's going to be less than a touchdown game. I'm going to take that plus 9 points. I think it's pretty safe that, the Falcons may actually end up winning this game. So that's my first leg of the teasers, the Falcons plus the 9. Second leg, we're going Ravens at the Lions. Ravens are currently laying 8 points. We are going to do the same thing. We're going to take 6 points. We're going to tease that 8 points all the way up to 14. And then we're going on the other side. We're taking the Lions plus the 14 points. Listen, the Ravens are playing great football. Don't get me wrong. They're rushing the ball well. Lamar's looking good. They're playing good football. But they're coming off of 2 hard-fought games. They had that game against the Raiders where, went into overtime. And unfortunately, the Ravens lost. And then they had that game last week against the Chiefs, and that was one hell of a football game. So, the 2 big games against tough teams, to go into Detroit and play a struggling Lions team, that Ravens team's probably being like, you know what, we got this in the bag. This is an easy win. This is a classic letdown spot. Coming off of 2 big games. On the Lions side of things, I think, they're hungry. Hungry dogs run fast, baby. Hungry dogs run fast. If I can get the Lions up to plus 14 points, I feel pretty confident that the Lions are going to hang out. They might lose by 10. Don't get me wrong. They very well might lose by 10, which they probably will. But we still cover that 14 points. So that's my 2-game teaser. I got the Falcons up to plus 9 and the Lions up to plus 14.
Okay. Shea's 2-game teaser. Falcons and Giants 0-2. One of those teams are going to come out better than the other. One's going to be pretty much the shittiest in the league. Also, Lions 0-2. Vikings are up there 0-2. Who are the Vikings playing this week? Sorry. The Bears, Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I don't think Minnesota is going to go to 1-2 this week either. Seattle's a safe money line bet. Just talking out loud, giving more free picks. Speaking of some picks, I've got 5 fun ones here.
Ooh,
all set. No, we're not going to parlay this one. These are all just 4 of them are touchdown scorers we're going to go with this week. And one of them's just a fun one. Statistically, we rode last year, and we got paid off it as well, and you'll remember. So 4 touchdown scorers I'm liking is Jared Kupp for the Rams against the Bucks. I think Kupp will get one.
Cooper Kupp, yeah.
Is that Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Who's Jared Kupp?
No, I don't know. I think you're thinking Jared Goff.
No, I'm thinking of my buddy Jared Kupp. I got so many buddies, man. It's crazy. Rams Kupp. He's been just getting looks from Stafford. I think he'll get one against the Bucks. I like Cooks for Houston. He's been getting a lot of looks. Like, we're picking the number 1 guys here. Cooks for Houston Texans. He's been getting a lot of looks. He shouldn't even be on that team. He's good enough to play somewhere else. We like Lockett with Seahawks as well. And DeAndre Hopkins with Arizona. So 4 touchdown scores. I'd sprinkle a little bit all over them. See what that does. Also, Atlanta Falcons, bird team. Don't like betting on them, but they have a great field goal kicker. And they've got a tight game coming up against the Giants. I don't think they're going to make it past 3rd down too many times. They're going to have to go for it. I like Falcons 2+ field goals.
Ooh, spicy.
That's a fun one. So yeah, that's 5 more free picks. That's 10 free picks.
Oh, look at that.
And a great time chatting with us. You're welcome. So yeah, we'll see what comes out of those 5 picks. I think this week will be a tough one too. I kind of went against the grain. I think things are paying well this week, and hopefully get the accounts up.
Yeah, you know what, everyone, just make sure we all like and subscribe to this video. Comment if you have any questions. If you want to, rip me or Johnny about our picks, we're more than welcome. We could take the heat. We want all that smoke. It's fine. So make sure you like, subscribe, keep an eye out for our socials. They are coming. I keep telling you that they are coming. We'll be posting updates on there. And you know what, guys, let's make some money this weekend.
Go Goats.
Go Goats.